So of course, this is Gamer here, as you already knew, but we are starting the stream. Hopefully everything will go well today. Let me see if we can click back into this. Maybe, oh, no, that worked just fine. Very good. Very, very good. Let's come up to a save game. Yay. And look. Well, hello, the interwebs. I don't think anybody's really out there yet, but they will come if you build it. Well, hopefully they will come if you play it as well. Now, I think, well, yeah, maybe I should. Make a few short videos here to start with. Hello. No, bad start. Hello, fellow Black Ice players. This is Gamer 1745, and we are now in the stage, I think, of recognizing that I'm very happy for a Black Ice 10.41 or whatever will it be continuing is a stable version of the mod, or a relatively stable version of the mod, one that is worth updating TRE to work. Do not use current TRE as of making this with this, because you will have a broken game. You might play sort of like, yeah, well, yeah, the on the thing, the two arms work and one of the legs works and it can hop around. Yeah, but you may not be realizing that the other leg isn't working. So yeah, we are much more stable now, but if you put in TRE, it's going to do bad things. Things like the starting order of battle, I think, need to be updated, and there's a bunch of work to be done to be updated. That's sort of the life of being a sub-modder. Now, I am looking for one or two assistants to help me a bit in updating the mod. I'm not sure just what exactly needs to be done. My standard procedure has been to look at all of the files that I changed of Black Ice and compare their old file version to the new file version to what I changed, and then make changes to the new file version. But I think because of some of the new text introduced, we need to go through the order of battles of files for the spawned various format units by TRE, and do them differently, either in a minor way or a major way, and it's going to be a bunch of work. I can do it. It's just going to take a considerable amount of time. I can help get a few people up to speed, one or two people is what I'm thinking, but don't know if somebody wants to do it. With Discord and screen sharing and showing what sort of needs to be done, and we can take a look at it and figure it out and go through it. And also, as part of that process, need to play/test the version that is made before we release it into the wild. So I'm looking, like I say, I'm looking for a volunteer or two to assist me in updating TRE. I'm still working through the process of taking a bunch of work that I did for a possible version of TRE for Hearts of Iron 4, adding a bunch of new stuff, and porting it back to TRE Third Reich events, of course, if you knew that, for Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice. Bunch of stuff in there to do, add to it. Now, to help me on this is also the other thing is, to help with everything, I do have a Patreon channel, and for $1 a month or more, you can help out supporting the endeavor. Now, please, if you're, I know these are hard times for many people. If it all is, don't donate money. This isn't because I'm so hard up. I gotta have some money, but it would be nice for those of who can, for whatever they choose to support the Patreon page, to support the educational purposes of my YouTube channel and the work doing it. So yes, if you want to support the Patreon as well, to support development, because development is also done through the YouTube, so videos and whatnot. So we will be looking, you can do that if you so wish to, but the main thing I am looking for is 1 or 2 assistants to help. And I don't need a bunch of people to just be early testers or something, just to play it early, but I really need an assistant or two to look at things and change things. Respond below the video if you, well, no, actually, I think if you're interested in helping out, I will have a link to the Discord server. Respond over on the Discord server. So if you really are serious about it, follow the link to the Discord server and respond there if you want to help out. Okay, thanks everyone. See you next time, and hopefully have TRE soon for Black Ice 10.4. Thanks everyone. Hello, chat. Yes, I see John Beth is here, and IKB, my friend. Very good to have you here. Yeah, I was just making an announcement video for TRE and its future development. As I'm waking up here, my chair is creaking a bit. So, sometime IKB, we need to do some more Railway Empire. Arno was asking for it yesterday. So I'm not sure when, probably not today, but we can get together and talk on Discord and figure out when would be a good time to make more episodes there. Right, okay, I think we'll continue with this. Okay. I don't think we really want to do any of these. We're going to continue here. Let's look at production here before we go further. And I may grab a Coke before I actually start making an episode. Okay. We're getting the sub and aircraft into production, but I think we want to start building up some practicals for ground units as well. Maybe a mixed support and transport and HQ. Couple of those just to sort of get started with that. Okay, for fighters, not much yet, but we can fire a lot of these when we get ready, which will form a bunch of stuff and some divisions as well. I think I also want to do here is, let's go with light armor, a motorized infantry battalion, motorcycles, armored truck transport headquarters, and probably a motorized support unit. Yeah, that's sort of a weak armor type formation, but still, hopefully will be useful. Now, what I think I want to do is, let's come right about here. Get these in the pipeline as well. I think the ICs. Hey Turnlow, how you doing? Will kick in when we get to 250 with some of the economic stress problems. Fair enough. But what I think we also may need to do here is try to find a few provinces with really high rare materials. Well, maybe even, how are we doing with steel? Yeah, I know we're selling some steel, so maybe also like here. Yeah, 34. Let's increase some steel refineries. Looks like about 7. Oh, there we go. Rares extraction. Let's increase that. We have some oil increase for there. Thank you. I do. This so far has been working out as being rather stable, which I'm glad of. Now, of course, I say that, and yeah, not maybe enough. Yeah, it looks like about 7.1 is one of the better. So let's do that for rares extraction. Increase that because it's a but I say it's rather stable and we're waiting to see how things continue. Okay, now that we have that, we're going to move these to the top. I suspect at some point our expanded steel factories will be useful if they are not needed now. As we continue to grow our industry, there are events that will expand some of that. But also, let's see about I'm seeing that we're okay. Sort of going to place them out here. A few more industrial centers out here in the east, away from potential Allied bombing. I know we'll get to actually making an episode here soon. Move these to the top. And then move all of these to the top. By shuffling the deck, as it were, to end up with the right set. Okay. So these will consume a fair amount of industrial points, but it's still 36, and it's when I want to do the industrial buildup. It's always better to build up things like this early as opposed to later. Which, for all the benefits that TRE gives you for Germany, one of the big handicaps is I come in early and wipe out a bunch of industrial centers from Germany, and I wipe out, of course, the West Wall that starts the game. But basically everything that I wipe out, what is it, about 6-8 months into it, it's starting in the 4-year program, you get them then. And so, but that first 6-8 months, you don't have as much industry at some of the early critical phases. So it's a hindrance, ultimately, I think. So it's TRE is not meant to be making things easier. And so these will be one and done. All right. These will take a while until the next year, later this year, which is fine. I don't think it'll push us over. All right. Well, I'm going to go grab a Coke. Before starting making the episode. So I will be back in just a moment. We'll give you a pretty picture to look at for the moment. There we go. The springtime for Germany. And I'll be right back. And I'm back. All right. Now, the colorful picture here. And let's start making an episode. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough and look at Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice 10.41 currently. And of course, we're playing as Germany. Before we get into that, just in case you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and everyone can hit that like button. And hello, Sir Toyjet. How are you doing today? So, just was asked about the 10.33 series. There were two of them that were sort of put together. One was the main playing version, and with the instability problems, I was doing a testing version. Yes, both of those are dead. That is just too unstable of a version to continue testing when I have something that looks much more stable than what we had before. So yeah, those series. Sorry if you were into watching me play through it and wanted to keep going. Yeah, I'd like to too, but instability is just too much. And hello, Klaus. Gotta stop watching and start playing the damn game. Well, tell you what, Klaus, you need to have 2 monitors. And that'll solve your basic problem. That way you can watch the videos and play the game. You can do both at the same time. And so, yeah, I know I'm telling you to spend money, but yeah, quite well. I'm doing fairly well, Toyjet, just waking up here in the morning. So if I'm a little slow, it's just, again, waking up and not anything else. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3. And I've got to figure out how to do a good multiplayer with this, because I want to do a multiplayer campaign, or 2, or 3. And I think that would be awesome, awesome, awesome. To have all the majors at least played by humans. But keep it within the historical. And yeah, I need a Coke, that's why I went and got one. Within the historical parameters, but yeah. Okay, advanced training centers. Spearhead Doctrine +1. So I presume that is here. Yes, okay, 38, too far in advance. For efficient. You can do it. But, excuse me, efficient research. So if ever you have a critical tech that you think is going to be the war-winning thing, I don't know, super good submarines or something, or whatnot, yeah, you can drive ahead on that tech. Or if you're just like as we are now, basically looking for 37 technologies, which are not as efficient as 36, you can do it. And I always wonder as I'm sitting here, I know most of you know this stuff, but how much should I keep saying it? I don't know. Plan Z, no, we're being smart. We're going to be smart. It just doesn't make sense for Germany to try to outbuild Britain on the Navy and knowing that America is going to be out there. Okay, improve security units. Is that this one? Nope, that would be this one. Cancel. Air systems. Okay, let's get that going. The carriers at the very least now. Yeah, okay, and thanks for mentioning that, Klaus. I have too many officers right now. So let's, I don't want to ignore officers, and we should have locked down diplomacy first. Ignore officers, I think, I hope that'll be good for diplomacy. You're right that you want to do this first. Man, my throat. Like I say, I'm just sort of waking up. Big pew pews, mega cool, but mega expensive. I guess we'll do this. I'm not planning on doing any strategic bomber builds, but I am going to do some heavy transports, and this will help the heavy transports. And we have a little bit more, so we'll do assault gliders. Who cares about money when you're going to have big fat battleships? Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Hitler wants to build a big sports stadium. And I forget some of the details there in TRE, and when we get playing that again, or if you want to look back at that. And to test out, because they don't have, obviously, they do have some mechanical computers, and they're starting some electronic computing, but it's just computing numbers. It isn't obviously displaying this way. So to test how well the sports stadium would work, they go to a side of a hill, basically, lower part of a mountain, and sculpt out a mock-up version of this, so that they could see what it would be like sitting in the top rows and all the different rows of the stadium, and looking down at to where whether it's going to be a Nazi celebration or a sporting event or whatever, just to see lines of sight, and are you just too far away to even function, and all of that type of thing. And they're getting to develop this, and it's going to be built in stone, for the 1,000-year Reich. And so this is happening, 37, 38. And testing, this testing part out is just the early phases of it. And I forget exactly who's bringing it up to Hitler, whether it was Speer or somebody else. It's in the event and it's covered. I do better when I have notes like that. And so, yeah, it all seems going to work. And, it was brought up the expense of this thing. It's just the price of two Bismarck or whatever battleships. It's just the price of 2 battleships. They're going to build this stadium. They're getting ready for a world war. Yeah, let's keep building this thing. It's only going to cost as much as 2 battleships. Yeah, okay. Their priorities. Is there a reason you skipped over camo for infantry research? Hello, Beam Slam. Still no brown shirt units filling. No TRE. That's TRE that does that. Is there a reason? Yes and no. Body armor, I still don't really understand why that's even here. I don't consider helmets body. I mean, obviously they are body armor, but I don't understand what the hell this is supposed to be. So I just skip it. Here, probably should be doing it now. One of the reasons early on probably I wasn't doing this. Oh, I know why I wasn't doing this early on. Is just because this doesn't unlock anything else, where doing these will unlock doing next levels of artillery brigades, next levels of infantry, that kind of thing. So yeah, I should be doing this. So next time, thank you for reminding me. And so yeah, carriers. Okay, let's look at toy jets. Yeah, big battleships, cool. Big pew-pews. Should Germany build some capital ships? Yeah, I will say yes. Germany should build some capital ships. National Socialist Germany wishing to do things. And we will be building some. Through here we see ordering the battleship Bismarck. We will be building some. It's cool to have them. They are useful in a war. Carriers. Well, we have... I guess maybe it's because it hasn't fired, or maybe it's TRE. Maybe it's TRE. The Graf Zeppelin is normally also built at some point. But if we look at the geography of this here, carriers really aren't very useful, because we're not really trying to be a worldwide or a Pacific area navy. So yeah, carriers and battleships aren't really needed in large numbers. Hello, Eric. Good to have you here. Here in Denmark, we compare big projects with the cost of a bridge over the Storebelt. Lol. Okay. This is much research than historical. I vote for Panther tanks instead of battleships. Better in Russia. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're gonna not build a lot of capital ships. Like we probably will be ordering. You know, the Bismarck. I'm planning on it. Partially just to test this out. And those of you, I hope none of you are under the delusion that this series is probably going to last until Russia. It might. That would sort of be a failure of getting TRE ready and working. Because once we get TRE ready and working and no fuel, like money in exchange for fuel, no. Pretty sure we can fit the Bismarck up the Volga. It's not a Viking ship there, toy jet. Once we get TRE up and running, and then we'll see how long the estimates are on getting GGA and the other submods up and running. Then we will be, well, at some point, probably before the other one's up there, will be, you get to watch me test TRE just alone. And then, so that'll be a new start of the game. And then once we get all the submods there, then we'll start the real series that goes on and plays, that really goes far. So those watching now or later, if you're thinking that this particular playthrough is going to go through till whatever conclusion of the game, God, I hope not, because I hope everything gets done before then. Hydrophones advance. So the longer this series is, the more a failure of the modding is happening. So even the ship channel through here wasn't terribly big. I'm not sure when they completed it. So I know it's not on the map here, but there was a ship channel through here. They would take fairly smallish ships, fairly small. Things that would be categorized as a ship, but just barely, and get them into the Caspian. Everyone knows that the Aral Sea is basically gone. Thanks, socialism. No, we're not selling crude oil. Yeah, well, I don't really think TRE is the cause of any bugs, or any of the real bugs that we're seeing in the older versions. I'm not saying there's zero bugs in TRE, but things that are crashing stuff. Pocket Battleship Advance, very good. It's here. No, okay, yeah, here we are. Stop that, okay. Well, let's continue looking at the air. Yeah, let's do naval bombers. I do have some worries on GGA. And I'll explain here since it's sort of what we're doing today. At the start of each month, you'll even notice with this, even though I have no saves, and I should probably... I think I'm going to re-enable monthly saving just as a test. That way, if we are crashing with monthly saving monthly, we'll know it and whether we should do that or not. But at the beginning of each month, the game looks to see what events need to fire for the upcoming month. And so it quickly goes through, and you can even see a pause here without the pause to save it, as it examines everything that it might need to happen. So what will happen is like if you have a condition, you know, Germany controls Amsterdam. Well, if at the beginning of the month Germany doesn't control Amsterdam, it will decide it doesn't need to do that. But, and so even if Germany controls Amsterdam later in that month, and you're supposed to fire, say, 2 days after the control of Amsterdam, it won't fire until the beginning of the next month's check. So a lot of events can be delayed for a bit. Well, Revolver held particularly improved, and I'm doing that in air quotes, and he did his coding technique to do a mean time to happen. And those of you who know better, I'm a monkey see, monkey do coder. I've got to find examples, even including my own examples, and sort of change things. So that he has set up in his stuff that will check, improves the checks so that they happen all the time, basically, I think you can put in like, oh, will not happen till the year 1938. So it won't really check before that, but once it checks, then it starts checking all the time to happen, so that it puts more stress on the system. Well, that I thought was the main cause of instability. It is, as they found out, not the main cause of stability, but once they, it does add to instability. So I really wish he and other people who are making stuff would only use the mean time to happen coding when it's something that needs to be more dynamic and less like, hey, if it takes an extra 30 days to happen, doesn't really matter. That way we put less stress on the system. Okay. Why are there no pocket aircraft carriers, Beam Slam? Well, I thought I never called pocket, but they have what they call the Jeep aircraft carriers, or the CVEs, the escort carriers that the Americans pumped out a huge number of them. And they also did the CVLs, the light aircraft carriers that still had proper, speed to keep up with the main fleet aircraft carriers. So the U.S. did two types of light aircraft carriers, if you will, pocket, if you will. No pocket aircrafts. Okay. I thought jokes were supposed to be funny. Or is that not supposed to be a joke? Okay, capital R transport ships. Let's so we'll switch that over there. And the other is capital ship raiders, which is that here? No. Sorry, too much coffee. See, text jokes don't necessarily work because timing and punchlines and stuff. Capital ship raiders. Is it naval and I just missed this? Oh, here it is. It's okay. It's one and done. Okay, so yeah, we're not doing any more of that. We're getting the transport engines worked on and focusing on submarines. For Germany in this game and or in real life. Let's first answer it, in my opinion, in the game. I don't think you can win by using submarines in the game. But submarines can be helpful. What just fired? Okay, truck and prime movers. So If you dump a lot of expenses into submarines, and then that would better be put in the, we're talking in the game, that would better be put into aircraft and tanks. I don't think you can bring, in a practical sense, you can bring victory that way. But if you put enough resources into submarines, that causes the Allies, first Britain, then America, and even the Soviet Union, to put greater ICs. So it's the idea that if you're putting, say, 40 ICs into submarines, and they're putting 120 ICs into anti-submarine operations, well, I think you're winning. Because you're putting in less resources and forcing them to use up more resources. That's how I try to use submarines in this game, in that you have enough to be effective in disrupting supply, disrupting their trade communications, but that you're not going to win with them. You don't overdo it, but you do it. So, small ships. Now, I don't know if because they've increased some of the real chances of doing surprise attacks. The only way motor torpedo boats can, I think, be effective at all against any allied stuff is if they have a surprise attack rating. But otherwise, they're just sort of, cheap junk to make a little bit. Oh shit. Oh no. Okay. We survived. Woo! That would have been a crash. I'm surprised it didn't crash. You really don't want to keep the production screen open or something open too much. Okay. Oh, well, we were in this screen, so had that been in the production screen, that was sort of a funky thing. Right, okay. Twin engine airframe research advance. Grayed out. Fine. Flying boat. And so you want to sort of jujitsu them, as I sort of think of it. Make them spend more on stopping the submarines than you're spending on submarines. And then just conquer everything. Small ships. They're useful for a lot of operations. Okay, what is that? That's the 8th Party Congress. Okay, we're going to get. Don't worry about the lose industry; they're all gains. Yeah, we know about it. There's no way expand our factories. Automotive factory in Kiel. Very good. We are getting close to our max, I think, as we could. Okay, yes. Soviet Union. We would give them money for rare materials. Okay, we will do that. Yeah. I think you're more of a historical player than I am, Klaus. We're down to medium popularity. Oh no, we're up to, we've lost the negative effect, so that's good. So that means more research. I'm much more of the type that wants historical parameters, shall we say, but the ability to not make the same mistakes. Okay, well, you don't want to go over, I believe there's still the max you want, and we're dancing really close to it. I believe is 250 in 1936. or you start getting economic penalties. Let me look at this. Okay. And it's modified. Yeah, I'm going to move these three to the bottom just to make sure nothing's going over the limit. So I'm pretty sure it's 250. And what if you're getting, and we're obviously within 7, that is dancing super close. So we're getting towards the end of the year. Yeah. Hello, Ragar. Well, it's in the code that it says just when you start getting some of the negative effects from overproducing factories. And you know, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to leave this on here. I'm going to Alt Tab out. This is a stability test, actually, what I'm doing right now. I'm going to leave that running. If the screen goes black, sometimes it's just the game has crashed, which is fine, but I'm coming in here to look at the files to see if, or what they currently are. Okay, I think it's an event. I think it's, oh my god. What the hell is this thing? Okay, well, that's all remmed out. Do they still say rem? That's still the thing, or is there some other? Okay, let me look at 10.3. Okay, I'm not seeing it quickly here. This is chaotic. The file structure here. And I don't remember exactly where. It wouldn't be that. Well, when you overpressure the economy, basically. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what. Okay, maybe it's in decisions here. Okay, yes, it's in decisions. OMG decisions. Let me look back up and I'll get, okay. OMG decisions. Okay, in 36. Oh, wow. Okay, they've changed it. They've changed it, I believe. Well, yeah, I think they've changed it. It's 400 in 1936. You don't want to go over 436, and then you start getting bad things. In 37, it's 480. In 1938 is 650. And let's see, and I think that goes all the way through till 1940. So 650 for 38 and 39, and then it's gone. No freeze. I'm just alt tabbed out of it. coming back in. That's in the code. Okay, so they've changed it from my memory. Now, we could have more ICs right now, but I actually tested and did the math of looking at no, not mixed industry, going to war economy here, and war economy here, going from this to this, and I actually swapped them out here. We would go from plus 10% ICs to plus 25% ICs. But during peacetime, you go from plus 20% consumer goods needed to plus 25 more percent needed consumer goods. And in looking at the amount of increase from this number here to going to war economy, I forget what it was, and it was fewer ICs at the time. It would like add, I don't know, let's just, for sake of argument, add 20 ICs to the to your adjusted amount, but it would add like 30 ICs or something needed for consumer goods. So, oh, it was, yeah, until into the war with Russia, did he go to start moving it into a full war economy. You're absolutely right, Klaus. Absolutely right. You'll need more ice. The idea is you would have more ICs, sure, but you would need to have more ICs than you would gain overall in consumer goods. So right now, in peacetime, it is better to, in my opinion, to stay with a full mobilization and not have to worry about it, because currently we have enough modifiers that we're not putting any money or any ICs into consumer goods. So we're fine there. So, going to needing less consumer goods, we don't care about it because you don't get a positive amount of ICs back from that. So this is the best at the moment. This would get us more, but with more penalties. But during wartime, as you can see here, you actually need less consumer goods. So, yeah, and then, of course, you have total economic mobilization. And so that is sort of, I would say, historically, full mobilization, I'm not sure when that would have happened. War economy, more into like maybe early 42. Total economic mobilization was probably happening more in 43 and beyond. Man, my throat, sorry. So, yes, you will want to do these when you can. Excuse me. Once the war has started. So, yeah, okay, so we're fine with that. So I'm going to change this back again. Let's just move these guys up to the top again. So they won't push us over at all. So we'll want to get those done fast. That was a good stability test. Alt-tabbed in and out while recording. And looked at some of the files. I could not have done that with 10.33. Not at all. In 37, we're going to fire some of these events here. Okay, decided to buy copper from the United States. And they're buying nickel from Canada. Yeah, I hear you, Klaus, but Germany did not, as we were talking, did not fully utilize their production. I think, again, this is think, not know. I think in World War One, they more rapidly expanded their economy than they did in World War Two. Cavalry exploitation, is that still something we can do? Yes, we want to do that one more. Would like crude oil? No, we are building up a stock of crude oil. So, because you can look like after the fall of France, Germany either cancels or doesn't continue. They had already ordered, say, 200 tanks, and doesn't add to the order of tanks because, hey, the war is over and we're going to want new models for the next war. So stop building these old Panzer IIIs. We're going to want new models eventually. And so they slow down to stop some of the war production in the middle of the war. So yeah, it may show the limitations of what is available for the field, but not Germany's actual production limitations. Stormtrooper tactics. And so we don't know. There's so much we just don't know. Okay, so we can start doing these as soon as we have more leadership to use. And so we're all, we're looking back and trying to figure out what it was. And we just don't know. We have ideas. We're making guesses. I don't mean just mod makers, but or game developers, but even the academics. Yeah, well, he expects a quick war with Russia, but also to the point is he and the top generals couldn't tell industry that we're going to even be going to war with Russia because that would leak out at some point. So they had to pretend the war was mostly over, except for the submarines out in the Atlantic, and Britain's going to surrender any day now, and some aircraft operating. So in late 1940, early 41. The war is winding down within everybody's perception of things. They've had their great victory parade in Berlin for the war, basically. And it's just those holdout British that are going to collapse any day now. And so once, it isn't really until winter of 41, beginning of 42, that we see. Oh, okay. Let me sound up a little better because I'm not hearing the little blip that we just got. An event or a technology political indoctrination. And that is here. Right. Okay. Come back over here. We've got that. And so I look at this as we're making guesses. That's just, I guess, about all I can say is so much information was lost. So even if we had it, we're still making guesses. Maybe well-educated guesses, but guesses. And in my mind, I'm not playing like, well, what if Nazis weren't Nazis and they treated their various conquered peoples or other undesirable peoples like Jewish peoples sensibly and use them for proper, labor and research and, development of things, well, no, they're still Nazis. They're still going to be Nazis. But if you look at things like bomb damage, you have the Krupp Potez small 6-axle truck that you see early in the war. Well, that factory gets bombed. And so they stop producing those trucks because they're only built in the one factory. They have Opel Blitzes and other things in production. So instead of trying to put them back into production, they just go, oh, no, those are done. Well, what if that factory isn't bombed? What if you make different choices earlier on that limits the effectiveness of bombing, meaning more aircraft, fighter aircraft set up and more bomber offensives? So we don't know, we may, though we don't fully, we may know what was produced, but we don't know what could have been produced. And it isn't always the same. Okay, we'll no longer see money for metal from Finland, which is not good. Okay, would like money? No. Okay, money for metal. Well, let's see what we can do with selling to either the USA or Soviet Union. Okay, they have some money. They need some supplies. Let's see. Okay, that looks like a decent amount of money. Replace that. USA has even more money currently available. They don't want supplies for some reason. Okay. United Kingdom. Maybe they still like us enough to trade. Yay. We've not been behaving very badly, so they still want to trade with us. Let's get that going. And I will definitely be talking in more detail about all this stuff when I make the proper series. However, okay, they've expanded here, but they've lost ground up here. So the Nationals had been down in the little pocket, and that's probably why they're cutting some of their trades with us, because they don't need so much resource because they've lost ICs. Okay, let's reduce this down even more because we've sort of really doing. We want to have a positive balance of supplies so that we can sell some more, but we might as well expand this up a bit. Get all of these in production. Okay, defensive positions, allowed research, Great War analysis. Okay, are we still analyzing the Great War? Yeah, we'll continue analyzing the Great War. All right, well, we're going to end this episode, not the live stream, but the episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos, and see you next time for even more, yes, more Hearts of Iron. Okay. The site in Spain is the same as in my playthrough. Hope it will be more historical now. Yeah, most of the times the nationalists win in Spain. So that is sort of supposed to be the outcome. We've done the event that Germany supports the nationalists, so they've gotten some aid. Yeah, not much more we can do about that at the moment. Okay, let's make another episode here. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with my continuing look at Black Ice's 10.41 for Hearts of Iron 3. And we're going to continue, but before we do that, again, I got to say this, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and hey, you can comment below. Greatly appreciate that. Really helps the series out. Just even saying hi really helps out so much. Thanks, everyone. Let's continue here. I don't know. Sometimes it's sort of cool when the Republicans win in Spain and then you get to invade as Germany, Spain. I like to play historical enough that I won't invade nationalist Spain, but I would invade Republican Spain. Thanks, Klaus. Do appreciate it. Okay, what now? We don't want to buy. Okay. Fleet Auxiliary Carrier Doctrine, which is here, which unlocks all of these. Well, this will help. Ranges for various things. Do they also submarines, I hope? Why am I pocket battleship CBE, CBA? Maybe not for submarines. I don't know. But still, we're going to do that because it will help operational ranges. When I get to 37, I will be firing a bunch of these First Wella infantry divisions, Bismarck, and the aircraft, which will be a big cut into our ICs. We are building some items here, but you can see we're mostly building up ICs and resources. Okay, new image for the anti-Comintern pack. Hello, Eugene Tonic 85. Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know that we're going to get that far. This is more of a test playthrough. I don't know that I'm going to get to Russia in this one. Like I was saying earlier, and those watching later, if we get to Russia with this series, my modding basically has failed in getting TRE ready. I want to get TRE and some of the other submods and then start another playthrough. So this is just testing things. So we're going to test this. Once I get TRE somewhat working, I think, with this, you'll see me testing TRE with this. And then once we're done with that and released it, we'll start again and start fresh. So this will not be, hopefully, a very long series, meaning hopefully in a week or two of Saturdays playing this, I'll be starting over, hopefully. Anti-Comintern pack. Okay, yes, we can propose it. Nice graphical image. Japan accepts. Excellent. Soviet Union would like money in exchange for... Okay, how much? Okay, we could do this. This is, quite honestly, mostly a stability test for me. Get confidence in it. And hopefully you guys will enjoy me talking about stuff while testing. And I need to test while at least recording it, because if it's stable when I'm not recording it, but not stable when I am recording it, because that puts more stress on the system, my computer system, then, you know, it doesn't matter, because I couldn't make a series unless it's stable while recording. So I need to record it. So I might as well share it with you guys. At least that's my thought. And also order the Tirpitz now. Yeah, I that that's useful. What are you guys' thoughts on trading of strategic resources? That Mexico is buying manganese from the United Kingdom, and what is Mexico getting for its manganese? Or getting manganese for okay. What do you think about that? Am I not seeing it here? Oh, maybe it's needed for one of these. Okay, so basically, I guess manganese is used for armor build speed. Keep it armor build speed a little less, or cheap, or not as slow. Getting rid of the 10% negative, I guess here, because see, if you have, you can't really go hover, but it's sort of right up here. I think. What does Mexico care about armor build speed? That it wants to pay for manganese. I don't get it what it needs that for. Well, strategic effects can also be seen up here, but some of them are not tradable, like military academies. This you get 100% for zinc, but what is it? Well, to find out, you need to come over here and find zinc. And it is not an independent one. It is maybe used in one of these other things as a component here. Yeah, we can see here we don't have the copper. If we had copper, I believe we would remove this penalty here. So they've gotten tricky with all of this. Not what they're doing is bad, but I think it's a lot of unnecessary stuff that, because to my understanding, and when we play it, we'll see, you will still get the strategic resources of your allies once you're in a in a faction. So yeah, I'm not in favor of it, but that's just me. It's enough that I disable it with TRE, but yeah, the original point within the game of these is a driving point for the wars, securing things like this for massive livestock, black soil here, fertile soil, black soil, whatever you want to call it, to help with the war effort. Obviously securing something like down here, which had been an oil one that gave a bonus to all oil, which I guess they've removed. How interesting. Okay, there used to be a bonus down here that would give you a bonus to your oil production, and similar things like that as a goal to achieve in the war, to push things forward and to either conquer or bring in allies that had those things. So yeah, I'm not terribly thrilled with it. as you can tell. Italy, yes, you can have energy. I've got plenty of coal. And of course, for gameplay reasons, they don't do all of them, because I brought up to them that they didn't put the nickel reserves up here for Finland. And Das G says, yeah, I have it in my notes right here, and I've been pressing for it since the beginning, but oh my God, who's leading the thing goes, well, but then Germany can have the super good ship armor that they could have because only the US did that. And I'm going, yeah, yes, but just reserve the technology for the good ship armor only to the US because they're the only ones that had the actual technology to do it. So it's some silly stuff in my opinion. Hey Martin, no reason to be sorry that you're late. But my understanding is either it serves no purpose in the game, or or it serves the purpose of giving Germany an armor tech, ship-based armor tech that it didn't have. Well, why would it know how to make the secret American art? The basic concept of what the Americans were doing for ship armor might be known to the Germans, but that doesn't mean they have all the technical information to replicate it properly for themselves. So zinc really is only in this game for the American armor tech that maybe they could share, or you could maybe tech steel, or I don't know, or if you chose. So some of this stuff is just silly fluff, in my opinion. Artillery unit combined arms advance. Very good. Okay, artillery unit combined arms. So now we're at 36 here. Okay. I'm doing well, and how are you today, Martin? Yeah, we'll have a lot to be ordering after the first of the year. Okay, rare materials, slight positive, decent positive. Let's see. Okay, so we're getting into production as of some of these other things. Running through those. Good. So having this here keeps me checking to see if there's something I need to click on. And we just got... Okay, this locked up. Okay, rolling artillery barrage is increased to 2, which is too far forward. Maybe that's down here. Okay, stop that. Now, we had a few early ones unlocked, and I forget which ones they were. Not naval, I don't think. I don't know. We'll just look through these and see if we find something we want to research. Always go, at least I always go for the infrastructure type things first. Oh, okay. Then I should have maybe started this a little earlier. Now that we have the 4-year plan going, we can do improved coal liquefaction. So let's start that going for sure. Get that going. Okay, Italy. Another factory just came online. Okay, not getting that money coming in, but maybe... No, we don't want more fuel. No, no. Don't know why I keep thinking, even though I have a positive amount of fuel here. I'm selling off a bunch of fuel, which is keeping it down. I thought I was exporting fuel. I guess I'm not anymore. Okay, I guess all my fuel, because that was mainly to Italy, and they're not buying fuel at the moment from us. All right, well, okay. That's fine. Converted into the network, return to stockpile. Okay. Well, let's detach and attach there. Things like this, not completely useless, but these battle commanders really should be attached to a proper division, and now that we can only do 7, what am I going to pull out of that to attach a battle commander to? To me, it's just like, it's silly. What am I going to pull out of this division? Well, maybe I could pull out one of those armor regiments. But still. I keep forgetting, gotta remove him from this unit. Let's pause. Let's go skill. Yeah, this, come down here. Well, let's find, because if we're gonna use this, maybe get attached to another unit, but do we have a fortress attack here somewhere? There we go. That might be a good place to store him. Okay, Soviet Union. Okay, so some more steel coming in there. No crude oil sales. Okay, air liaison. That is here, I believe. Okay, we're going to stop that. And we're going to look up here just to see if there's some other 36 or 37 technologies. Like, found that one that have come available and I've missed. No, doesn't look like it. Okay. So why don't I do this? Because we don't need it yet. We're unlocking some of these. We need to unlock them to pursue other, aircraft techs. So I guess, yes, we're going to do close air support. Let's take a look at science advisors. Okay, so we've been using him. Okay, here's another thing. I'm going to do another quick stress test here. Come out. Look for, I think it would be in downloads here. Maybe. Move that over to here. Someone made a nice graphic chart that shows what ministers give what buildings. And so your screen is not locked up, but and I downloaded it, I think, yesterday, and hopefully I can find this fairly quickly. Well, go back to this for the moment while it's doing its thing. Okay. But the first wave mobilization, can you choose between building the full units or just the ICs? I think that's new, or do my... You have, in the past versions, you've been able to do either just the HQs if you wanted to build them yourself, or because the HQs will just give you the nice sort of cool HQ symbol, or if you wanted to build the full units. No, it's not there, and it still hasn't gone through here. Yeah, okay. I'll tab back. Do it most gently. I will be building the full units as sort of out of preference. Okay, well, they've sealed off this pocket. Ah, that's good. Let's see if I can find... Ah, here we are. That's what I wanted. Okay. Let's see. Let me get this over here so I can look at it while having the other thing open. Minimize, minimize. Shift over here. Okay. Alt tab back. Yeah, this is great. I couldn't have done this before. Okay. Let's look this up here. Okay, he is technical specialist. Hey, and they even did it in order, but okay. I don't know that they did science. Huh? He's a technical specialist. There's no technical specialist on the list. Damn. Guess they didn't include the research specialist. No, okay, they did not include the science ones. Oh, that's what I wanted. Damn, okay. So I don't know what buildings these guys give, if at all. If at all. Okay. Cancel. Now, Great Compromiser. Is that one here? No, that doesn't seem to give buildings. Not that it should. Okay, silent workhorse. Silent workhorse, yes, okay. Heavy industry. It'll give a heavy industry and a let me see, I'm trying to follow the chart. Okay, it's that column up. Research lab, it looks like. Okay. Power hungry demagogue. Nothing on the list. Okay. Hermann Goering. Single engine aircraft. Single engine aircraft. Proponent that gives up there. Light aircraft factories. Not okay. Man of the people. Man of the people. Okay, that gives hospital. Okay. Industrial specialist. Doesn't look like it's on the list here. Okay. Doesn't do any good for us for build more buildings. School of maneuver. School of maneuver gives third one over. Small arms factories and no, hold it. No, okay, I read this chart wrong. School of maneuver gives us armored factories here. Armored spearhead doctrine. Come up to that. That'll be easier if it's on the list. Armored spearhead doctrine. That'll give tank factories. Decisive naval battle doctrine. It would be under D. Decisive naval battle doctrine gives capital shipyards and Army aviation doctrine. Army aviation doctrine gives light aircraft factories and medium aircraft factories. Okay, so that's what's on the list that these buildings. Hello, Wotas 1818. How are you doing today? Okay, well, yes. What the info that I'm just reading off the thing, if I didn't clear out the sort of introductory decision information, it would still be here that you could keep accessing, but I really normally don't like to have these things up here ongoing, but I cleared it out and I ended up having them here because of not wanting to fire a bunch of these decisions at the moment. So it is sort of here in the game, but it is sort of a complicated list here. And I don't know whether the person putting together this list had access or if they maybe didn't say what the science ones built, if anything. No, we're building crude oil up, not selling it. Yes, you may have energy. Okay, direct fire unit combined arms. Nice. Shut that down for the moment. Hello, Gilmer. How you doing? Are there a lot of people doing live streams today? I can imagine. That's one thing where we are in direct competition, where normally it's you can watch what you want win, but if you're going to show up live, you can, you can have more than one stream open, but really watching things you need. Okay, actually, I think we're going to come over here and do technical, or tactical, not technical, tactical air support. Okay, well, we're building up the money considerably with selling our zinc. And I'm not buying other stuff. Should I? Well, no, I'm not. Okay, sure, punk doctrine. That'd be there. Yeah. Kesselschlacht. Germany has such a brutal language. What are we doing? Okay, so we're into producing some of that already. Very good. We're going through the oils, which takes a long time, but these will come out. Rare extractions help out a bunch there, and the steel's already been deployed. And we're getting ready for the new year. In a few days, about 10 days. Okay, good, Eric. We'll just do it a piece at a time. Eric, who's right now chatting with us on Twitch, is a very good 3D model maker. And he's working right now on the suspension of the 7TP tank, the Polish one. The Cardin-Lloyd suspension that it has, or a version based off of that, from my understanding, he is a bit tricky, I think, to model. Well, Beam Slam, well, since things are going so well here, I will do this, and since I don't think any of my moderators are around, if you want to see his work, you can see it in our Discord server. And I'll post the links up to the Discord server here. Invite people, edit invite link so it doesn't expire. It expires never. Generate new link, copy. Okay, let me come to Twitch. He has his own, and I'll also put it up on YouTube. Here, let me just refresh this. Open this up here. Because I can't in my no, stop. Okay. Don't want to get a copyright strike for commercials. There you go. Those are invites to our Discord server, if you're not already a member. And he posts his work there in one of the chat channels. And we just had one. Okay, that overstressed the system. We just had a crash. Yes, your screen is black. Okay, so we have to go back. Fortunately, I had. Oh no, wrong thing. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. Yeah, I'm still here. Don't worry. We'll have to go back to the last monthly save. But that overstressed the system enough. That's partially what I'm doing here today, is of testing the system. So those watching, yes, you have a black screen. We are loading map sprites, initializing map logic, loading databases too. Fortunately, I have a fairly quick system, so this won't take too long. Finally, no one in my life cares, but no, you all appreciate this. It took me about 10 tries, 1,000 hours to succeed. Very good. Jackal, that's a very good. And what year did that happen in the game? Not now. Okay, we are back. Save games, autosave, December 1. Very good. Defeating the Soviet Union is not an easy thing. With all the supply problems. Okay, we're back. Okay, well, we lost about 21, 22 days with that crash. Okay, 41. Very good, Jackal. Very good. A 41 victory over the Soviet Union is not easy. Were you playing on 10.40 or were you playing on the older 10.33? Okay, 10.33. Well, very good. I didn't have enough stability to get that far into the game. So yeah, no, that's an achievement. That definitely is an achievement. 41. Yeah. That ain't easy. Get the surrender conditions. So yeah, no, okay. So if we stress this out a bit, alt-tabbing in and out. And just so that you know, because I'm both, recording and live streaming this, opening up too many things, looking at too much stuff. There's a lot of stress on the system. So that did sort of make things go, push it too far. Let's move that to there. Well, have you thought about invading Britain? Or conquering India? I sort of often have felt that way after defeating the Soviet Union, having this really cool Panzer army developed, and now what do I do with it? And, taking out Britain, yeah, okay. And yeah, it's sort of anticlimactic in this game to go after America at the very end. But yeah. Yeah. There we go. The German Baltic Battle Fleet, direct unit combined arms. You know, we just did some of these because we're replaying 20 days. And that will come over to here. Yep, Africa is another difficulty with the, you know, lack of infrastructure. I don't really think we can see, yeah, just all black here. But the infrastructure is like, it's pretty bad. Though fortunately, it's normally not overly well defended, so it's more just time to take than can you take it. You know, you can take it, it just takes time. Oh no, hey, yes, this is December 36. Everybody's buying zinc from Germany, which is giving us large sums of money. Yeah, I'm going to save this. I presume the crash happened simply because of alt-tabbing in and out, but just in case it was something else, let's save it near here. Yes, Sherplunk Doctrine. There we go, Castle Slot. Yeah, that's currently correct. I say currently because I'm intending, I put up a poll. Anybody can go in and vote on it on my channel in the community tab section. And so far it's about 70+% want to go back to 8 brigades. And you had the option of voting, go back to 8 brigades, do 7 but get rid of the transport units, or 3, keep it the way it currently is at 7 with all the stuff. So it's overwhelmingly for a change, and it's overwhelmingly to go to 8. And I'll tell you what, yes, mod makers can make the mod that they want to make, absolutely. As I said to the Black Ice makers when I had them here live or in my complaint video, but do you really want to make a mod that upsets people? And it seems overwhelmingly they want to go to 8 players, because it's things like this. You can't attach the battle commander to you know, something like a proper panzer division, or even like this semi-motorized division, without like ripping something major out of it. You know, oh, let's get rid of the armored cars, or let's get rid of the engineers to put in a battle commander. Really? That to me just seems a bit much. Okay, no, we're not selling crude oil. Well, my understanding is for 10.3, they made it so that the AI can build 8 brigade size divisions from the start, even though the player couldn't. Where before the AI won't switch from 10, or I mean from 7 to 8 in the middle of it, just because of the way the programming works. So, you know, this is always open to abuse. I mean, 1, you can just cheat. 2, like for TRE, that event that spawns all of the SA units only happens for a human player Germany, because a AI is just going to try to use all those, excuse me, a little bit of hiccups, going to use all those SA units as frontline fodder, which they're not meant to be. They're meant to be a reserve for Germany, you know. So, you know, let me pause this for a minute because I want to talk here without worrying about the clock and things. You know, you get my best estimation, replicating it in game terms putting a lot of qualifiers there, I know. The SA as it was in 36 with it. You get that. But you get some penalties, including some manpower penalties. You have to give supply, have the consumer goods as well as supply for the larger army of the SA. So it costs you things. So there are costs. So it's not like give you free, in air quotes. No, there's cost to it. And so it's a bit of a white elephant, in my opinion. And the SA units are, fairly baddish militia units. So they're not very good at, frontline combat at all. They're decent, not great, but they're decent, internal security units. And so it is open to abuse. If you want to min-max things and use those SA units to spread them all over your occupied territories, whether in the Eastern Front, Western Front, you can do so. Now, the SA, and I don't have it, but they did expand into Alsace-Lorraine. I know there was a Sturmabteilung or whatever the size set up in Warsaw. So there were some SA units in occupied areas, as well as, yes, in the Sudetenland, but also SA sort of helping occupy throughout the period in Bohemia and Moravia. But mostly it was 80-90%, probably more like 90%, in what was considered German core territories. Yes, the sort of occupied parts of Poland that Germany reincorporates it. That's where it's intended to be used. So it's interesting. It's pretty eye candy that costs you. It's a white elephant. Now, yes, you can disband all that stuff if you want. Though if you do so, you won't get all the manpower back. Though you do get some of the manpower back with a later event that reduces the strength of these SA units, which makes them even worse. But what is it there for other than eye candy? Well, it's a reserve. If you go with TRE, there is a chance of going to war with Britain and France over the Sudetenland crisis. There's a chance. It's most likely, I don't know, like 80-90% chance to go historical. But there's that somewhere, and there's two different choice points, so I'd have to do a lot of detailed math to figure out. But it's mostly likely to go historical. But there's a possibility of it not going historical. And of course, you can save just before it or go back to the last autosave if you don't want to go to war. But what if you go to war in 1938 over the Sudeten crisis? Well, now you have a big SA that can help, hold the line. Can be fighting units there. So if you have an early war without a properly built up German army, the SA is there. Now, we all know about the Volkssturm that was formed up at the end of World War II in Germany, and all those old men with Panzerfausts and whatnot. Well, do you realize that a major element of the Volkssturm was the SA? Those SA men that were maybe young men, fit men, but they were working in the steel industry, or they were working in some other, war-needed application, and they were sort of, weekend SA members, if you will. Though, so they were more useful in the factories than on the front lines, or they were, World War I veterans or other stay-at-home people for various reasons. And so those were mobilized along with other elements for the Volkssturm. So they're sort of functioning as a Volkssturm. And so particularly if you were playing against other humans, and you have all that SA, and then, I don't know, there's a 1942 or 1943 invasion up here or something, you can rush up a bunch of SA units to hold the line, to delay the advance while you move in proper panzer divisions to go after them. And we also, with TRE, give you, with GGA, you get the Wehrkress system, which are sort of home garrison training units. But we also, in TRE, we give you the Ersatz Heers, the sort of reserve army units that a few early on Ersatz army units did go, were sort of, meant for home defense were involved in the invasion of Yugoslavia, but then returned home. A few of these ersatz units, instead of sitting in Germany, were moved to places like, the Netherlands and Belgium as sort of, continuing to do their sort of reserve, because it's the reserve army for Germany. That's the army that Klaus, oh boy, the guy who blows up Hitler. Sorry, I'm blanking on the name right now. Was going to raise to fight the SS and whatnot. The reserve army. We give you some of those units. So some of those units were sort of shifted from sort of German garrison elements to, defense, occupation, whatever, bit coastal defense, bit occupation in some territories. And it includes panzer divisions. Now, they were given older tanks and whatnot as sort of training vehicles and reserve vehicles. But as the war is stressing the German system, several of those divisions get moved, and which we sort of replicate it, get moved from being reserve divisions sent off to the front lines. And then, of course, as Germany is collapsing more and more, they're sent off to, the front lines, or the front lines are coming to them. And so, yeah, you can sort of abuse the Wehrkrest units and the ersatz units and send them out to the front lines early. You can do that. And yeah, but I designed TRE to be sort of the historical base units and the AI will abuse the system. So I'm not sure. I don't know GGA well enough to know whether the Wehrkrest units, but definitely my units only spawn again for a human. Germany is human player. Is player, not AI player. So, you can abuse the system where you can try to play the historical setups and use those units just sort of like an emergency panzer division to stem the tide of an unexpected invasion. Now, unfortunately, the AI normally doesn't do unexpected invasion, so they're sort of useless. But if you are playing multiplayer and you have TRE, you have reserves. And what I've been saying during my rant. Okay. Can't attach to the AI. Can't attach engineers, or basically to any existing units. I just deploy them to the cores and use SD. Yeah, use the SD stuff. And now we do add a bunch of with TRE Schutzmannschaft units, which were sort of units made up of various ethnicities from here, that were somewhere between what we would think of as policemen, armed with a pistol, to guys armed with rifles and light machine guns for occupation duties here, this part of, Russia, Soviet Union, whatever you want to call this area. The Schutzmannschaft units, we do the historical order of battle. But and they did have light machine guns that the men, as the Eastern Front is collapsing, they're either those units are breaking up and the men are put into like various Waffen SS, Eastern Front Waffen SS units, or those paramilitary sort of police units are just themselves thrown into the front lines. Now we also give them at low strength levels, because we give you the order of battle, but their manpower was under strength. So if you want to, go in and, specify no upgrade, or unit receiving reinforcements if possible, you can turn that off to keep them at their low strength, so you don't use up your manpower. Or you can let them fill up with, if you will, German manpower from the game engine. So yes, you get a bunch of weak police, Schutzmannschaft type units, for your occupation duties. And if you want, and so yeah, we give you those, and those aren't really terribly abusable because they're not good combat, and they're just, reduce your revolt risk kind of things. So yeah, we give you a lot of these things, and those are sort of given in that they don't have IC costs because they're local volunteers, and they were mostly given captured weapons of not very good quality because they just needed a rifle with a handful of bullets to do your sort of basic jobs. You don't need, they're not, and a few light machine guns. They weren't costing the German war industry really anything to raise these Schutzmannschaft units of Eastern Front ethnic units, and these are not combat divisions. So yeah, some of those are meant to be for occupation duties versus some are meant for home duties. They do already self-suppression, Eric. Do they have Panthers in Norway? I didn't know. Stauffenberg, yes, thank you, Martin. Yeah, I blank on names. John Fair had the briefcase. Okay. Stauffenberg put in the bomb. Schutzmannschaft units. They are part of an event chain for TRE, Third Reich events. So yeah, you get them. Hello, Mac. How you doing? Yeah, Eric is also developing alternate history. He's Norwegian and is develop a sort of alternate history setting up as if Norway had significant enough industry to be able to build tanks in reasonable numbers. I think I put that sort of correctly in. Okay, we went over to January. But he is a very good 3D modeler. Egypt annexed them. Second Moscow show trial. And we just got a bunch more. Okay, we just got a bunch more ICs. Okay. So what we're going to do here now is do upgrades. Oh no, I want to increase, because again, I want a cushion, even though I know we have a lot here. And we're going to start firing some of these. Oh, well, we need to do, okay. Economic boost. We're going to do long term, which will reduce our ICs down, which is, but hopefully in the long term, make things better. Annual national focus, Reich economics, which will help. Oh man, I wish, well, thought we would have, well, I may have messed that up, but okay, so we're only getting, okay, heavy industry, Cottbus, and Hanover. Where's Cottbus? Anybody know where Cottbus is? I don't know my German geography to know that well enough. We may have units sitting on top of. Won't be Berlin, obviously. No. That'll be a green area. No, not Potsdam. I'm not sure on some of those things. Southeast of Berlin. Okay. Oh, here. Okay. So we had 2 industries. So now that we have that, I want to max this out. Right. And we're going to come and put that to the top. And then we're going to come and make sure that all the other industry is above it. Well, yeah, all of it. Almost all of it. There we go. We want to do that. Let's see, annual espionage focus. I just do economic spying for the 1% efficiency. Okay, this is where, okay. Farm mechanization, railroad tycoon, mining, highways. Now with TRE, I give you highways at the beginning. I feel Germany is the one nation that, I mean, they're still increasing the highway system, the Autobahn after 1936, but a very big portion of it is already done. So I figure Germany deserves getting that sort of free at start. So that is my normal setting. Right now, mining. I don't want to reduce my ICs any more than I am. We're doing good enough for even oil, more or less. So we won't do that now. Manpower, we're doing good enough for manpower because we're not building that much stuff yet. So it really comes down to, which normally I would start with Railroad Tycoon or this, but let's see. I see it plus 2%, plus 1%, throughput 10. So obviously Railroad Tycoon is better than highways. So we will do highways. That is why we went to the long term. So hits us hard for money and everything, but all right. Okay, so we have that now. Oh, guys. Well, look what happened here. What happened to my first well of divisions? Okay. They disappeared. I didn't know. This is the learning process. So those division forming, we can only form them during 1936 and not 1937 or later. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now is things are going to go black. Well, we're going to end this episode, not the live stream, everybody, but we're going to end this episode here. And we're going to come back next time for more Hearts of Iron. But yeah, the live stream is not going anywhere, so you can all stay tuned. Okay, yeah, we're going to keep the live stream going here for sure. Use location finder in game. Yeah, that saved me brain damage. And now for German jog. Okay, hello, Dios Game Watch. How you doing? Okay, so I'm gonna quit just because you want to always restart fresh with Hearts of Iron 3. You don't want to try to go in and load stuff, in my opinion. So we'll go back to our last save. I think it's on the 17th of December. But we'll be back starting very shortly here, continuing, I should say. It'll probably be different this next time, just because it normally is. Those where you get the heavy industry, the code says something like that where there's 2 or more. Though I wish they would go to like 4 or more. 2 or more industries, randomly pick a location and give it a heavy industry. Like I say, I wish it would go to 4 or more, so it's just more concentrated, but it's a minor point. All right, well, we're going to make another episode here. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with my continuing look at Hearts of Iron 4's Black Ice 10.4. Now, one of the things which I have not really encountered before, but we are now December 17th. If you wait till the next year to fire the first Wella infantry divisions, they will disappear. So if you want to fire them at all, you better fire them before the end of the year. So we're going to do full divisions. They're going to hit our industry negatively, strongly. Okay, so now you can see the penalties from those. And we've spawned a bunch of units. Are they all here? Yeah, they're all here in Berlin. Okay, yes, we're going to have to play through some of this again. Sure, plunk. $38. Kessel Schlock. Okay, now you can see where our industry is being hit really hard. Oh boy. Oh boy, we're being hit hard. Hard. By stacking that up. No, we're not getting. Oh, we give them fuel. Okay, yeah, I think so. Boom time for bars in Berlin. Yeah, lots of soldiers there. That's for certain. Okay, so, well, we don't need these right now. We're going to keep the oil rig building just because we will want the oil rig. Focus more on getting some of these industries done. The ones we can get done first, we want to do first. Earliest. Yeah. Well, it will mean we're building up a lot of materials. I don't like that they can only fire in 36. But you should have that as fair warning, people. Fair warning indeed. Yeah, you can do that if you want to look them up, and I could fire the events. You're absolutely right from the console. Yeah, you can do that. It's not a bad solution, but again, as a mod maker myself, I want to. Oh, no. I don't want that much. Oh, let's go just a little bit positive. There we go. Auto saving. All right. Let's come here. Okay. We're going to do Bank for International Settlement. 200 supplies. Annual espionage focused economic spying. And yep, long-term investment, which is going to hit our ICs for another 5%. And we're going to go annual national focus, industry, Reich economics. Okay. Oh, this and now Cottbus and Hanover again. So here we will max this out. Move that to the top. Move all of these above it because we want them. We want the first ones there first. Ones will get completed first. We want to give them priority, I should say. Better use of the English language there. Right. Okay, good. Let's go. We did look just before railroad tycoon as being the best option here. Now let's look here. Okay. We can still build the battleships. We can still build the aircraft. We're going to wait until those 3 spawn penalties there for 40 IC unit spawn penalties. Those 3 of those go away. You get nervous. Yeah, you might screw something up if you auto fire stuff. It varies. 7 units. Oh, we need more production here now. I want that to go down. Okay, you can have fuel. We're not using much fuel. Okay, another 3% hit until September 37. Until September 37. Really? No, thank you. 3%. Okay, let's read this here, people. Thanks for following the channel. Do appreciate it very much. Okay, 2 aged 280 millimeter or 28 centimeter Kutztown Cannon L42 guns seized from the Belgians at the outbreak of World War I had survived the war and were placed in new mounts that were shared by all of the 28 centimeter Bruno railway guns. Okay, so they had two big artillery tubes, basically, and they had to make the railway gun or the railway mounts and other auxiliary pieces for them, I presume. Okay, you know, not just what you're sort of seeing here in the picture, but some other things. But the guns themselves, they're probably, you know, I don't know, because if again, if you don't understand, 42 caliber coastal guns. Okay, a caliber, when you're talking about a big gun like this, unlike a something that's like a 50 caliber or 30 caliber machine gun, when you're talking about this, this is 42 times, I believe, the diameter of the gun. So it would be 42 times 28 centimeters, because it's a proportional measurement when you're talking about naval artillery and their calibers. And since we're talking, this is a coastal gun, I'm going with that. So it's 42 times 28 centimeter barrel. Okay, so it might not be a very good modern naval gun because it's, you know, pre-World War II, pre-World War I gun, but still would make a nice big boom for, you know, railway artillery for siege. Okay, they really think putting these two things are going to cost Germany 3.3% of their ICs for 2/3 of a year? Really? Yeah, something like that. That's how I understand to measure, U.S. naval guns, because they'll do like a 6-inch 42 caliber. And so it's 6 inches or 4-inch 42 caliber. So you could see, you know, the idea, a 4-inch 42 caliber versus a 6-inch 42 caliber. The 4-inch 42 caliber will have a shorter barrel, but it'll be a proportional length equal to its, you know, diameter of, you know, projectile. So that's how you measure naval artillery. And I'm guessing because, again, it's coastal cannon and that type of thing. And so it's a percentage situation. And you'll see that kind of stuff when you're looking at naval artillery. So, yeah, and I get this also, you know, includes, you know, all the personnel and what to maintain it. But no, I'm not going to do that right now. That seems like 3.3% of Germany's IC for 30 days, maybe, because you already have the Jean Barthes line. You already have the artillery tube, which is the hardest bit to make. But even then, even if you're making the artillery tube, and even if you're sort of going, oh, but we're also making a bunch of ammo to go with them. Assault gliders are done. It's a one and done, I know. Or something like that. Well, yeah, making a bunch of ammo does cost a bit, but still. Okay, well, you know, we're now in 37, so we're going to start pushing like forward on this. Yeah, I guess. Steel after that. Assault glider's done. Losing some money from Italy. And so even if you're making the artillery tubes and everything else, okay, 60 days? Or 1% maybe for until September. That just seems like awfully expensive. Okay, they come with a battalion, but yeah, still a battalion and its support elements is significant, but not, you know, that big a percentage. Original event surpasses ICs for 3 years, right? Yeah, well, there's the original suppresses. Yeah, there is the original railway event too here. Let's hover over this. Do we see here? Well, we have the 38 centimeter. Well, maybe they've changed this here, because I just see the 38 centimeter spawn penalty of 6% still going from whenever we spawned that thing. Yeah, that seems awfully big. Well, okay, this isn't the big, huge super guns. This would need just a standard railway. Nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And, you know, I think they overdo the effectiveness of forts. I've normally reduced down their effectiveness. Okay, torpedo boat class advance. And that's grayed out. And steel armor casting capabilities. We'll do that a bit later. We're going to focus earlier on some of these other. Let's do that. And we have, let's do industry. Yeah, I'm not buying it. No thanks. TRE used to be just a, stuff added, but now because they're going down too many tracks that I don't like, it's becoming a gamers remix as well. I don't like that it is, but since it is, it is. I understand why they're no longer putting divisions in the production queue. That with what they've decided to do with, I guess we're just going to keep up here. Yeah, we're going to do coal. I want to get that spawn too. Because what they've decided to do mostly with mostly these specialist training stuff. Whether that's a good idea or not, they make spawning the divisions in the production queue problematic. So, yeah, I get why they sort of need to now, but I still just make it cost a super amount of, supplies or whatever they figured needed to happen. I'm not asking for stuff for free. Now, I am sort of a bit, maybe with, got leftover artillery pieces from before that were, putting together. It might be not free, but cheap. Okay, do we want to do the Theodora cannons at 24 instead of 28? Oh, good. No, thank you. It's just this, because this is going to be there. I think it's 3 months for each of these spawn penalty things, and I don't need what would be now another 6% reduction. I mean, eventually we get to where we're not producing anything. No big boom, yeah. No, we want to fire new projects. We want to fire new projects. You want to fire that as quickly as you can. Sets a timer or a flag. Forget which. Timer or flag or both. No, we're stockpiling our crude. Okay, well, good. So, I made an announcement video which will go out. I am looking for someone to help me update TRE for the new mod. So I don't know if any of you have interest in wanting to help. If you do, contact me on the Discord server. Okay, naval strike tactics and nav tactics. Those are both over here. Yeah, we'll come back to these. I know these are 37 technologies and all, but we are doing what we can to improve our industrial and supply production and capacity, agriculture, manpower. Well, if we improve the supply of productions, that will reduce our needs for ICs producing supplies. Yeah, I can imagine they would break a lot of windows. Here on the West Coast, they had, well, and on the East Coast, but the U.S. had a fairly large coastal artillery program that only disappeared after World War II, again, primarily because of nuclear weapons. Um, and a lot of those guns were never fired, or extremely rarely fired. They would go to more remote areas and fire a few guns there, for training purposes, for accuracy and whatnot, and normally just do loading drills on dummy cartridges and dummy powder things, dummy projectiles and dummy, because the projectile and the powder charge were normally in bags. They're separated. So they trained a lot, but they fired very little because you don't want to fire around L.A. or San Francisco area and shatter windows and things like that. So where there were some coastal mounts that were a few more miles away that would be outside of the shattering kind of effect, and train actually do the live firing on those. Armor plate, okay. 4-engine airframe and large fuel tank. Okay, that here. Okay, so we're just going to do level 1 of these just to sort of do those so that we have them. Okay, more supplies being produced. I think we want to continue giant infrastructure projects, which will increase our ICs. So that this will happen sooner because it is only 8 instead of 12. So let's get that going. Yes, you may have metal. We're no longer using metal because we're no longer running our ICs anymore. Which is an interesting side effect by having negative penalties for the cost of these things, because you're not using up your resources as much. So you're getting the units that we're getting, yes, with an IC cost, but without a resource cost, including the big artillery pieces, unless they also had a metal cost for those. Okay, I don't remember. Transport ship engines, which we're going to stop now. We don't need to push there early. Okay, supply transportation, supply transfer costs. Okay, repair rate. We don't need those right now. Yes, we'll do the giant infrastructure and small warship engine advance. I want to make sure that that is either, yeah, grayed out. Good. Okay. That'll reduce ICs. That'll help. Yeah, we'll do this. Okay, what technology just happened? Oh, camouflage designs. Yeah, let's stop that. Well, I think it's definitely better that we produced more ICs earlier on and fire these all at once than to have these fire early and what about yeah, beam slam. I don't, there's definitely attempts at body armor in World War One. Um, and there's a lot of photographs of it, but I don't. I'll say this: I rarely see in the field photographs of anybody wearing body armor in World War One. I think it did happen, but I think it's rare. Where you see a lot of, a lot of other okay, we're low popularity. How nice. We like being that. Okay, some ships are launched. We're down. Oh, we're down to now 97 ICs, and we're needing more production here. This is not how you run an economy, people. Oh, let's. No, this is not how you run an economy. But so I think all the photos exist are just testing out various body armors. They did wear some, but I don't think it was like it was a marginal. It's like less. I'm guessing here, but it's probably less than 1% of soldiers had something more than a helmet. Expand our industry. Great news. Yeah, good. Heavy industry in Dortmund. Hold it. Let's take a quick look there, which will help. Is this Dortmund? Yeah. Okay, well that will help. Another heavy industry, which will magnify things. And so, yeah, when you have less than 1% of soldiers equipping with something, that is a rare thing indeed. Yeah, well, that's sort of the new thing. Okay, we've gone up because of the heavy industry. We've gone up to 98. Okay, small warship. Armament advance. No, here. Okay, so we've got armament. So yeah, we'll do the destroyer. Get the destroyer classes going up. And that's because of 2 or 3 25%. So we're down 75% of our ICs because of that. No, another cannon thing for another 3% for until October. No need, no thank you. We're not buying this. See now, well, just here. See, I'm guessing these are. Well, I don't know what the C88 means necessarily, but if the L35 is 35 calibers, that would be 35 calibers of out of 24 centimeters. So these are all varying. Originally used in the ocean coastal. They equip better. Yeah, I don't know why these are costing so much for guns that are already in existence that they had laying around, literally. Now the U.S. does the same basic thing but for coastal defense. They had the Endicott system around from the late 19th century, which still had some effectiveness for coastal batteries. And those were mostly the disappearing guns, meaning the gun would be entirely below the concrete parapets around it, and with no top cover because they didn't have airplanes at the time. So it was very hard to do plunging fire coming straight down on the top. So mostly it would either go short or go long. And so the gun would be below the level of the parapet, so you can't even see, because they sort of camouflage, can't even see precisely where the guns are. You would load the guns. The guns would, when you would pre-aim them. You would see where the ship was. You would aim the gun, get it there, all aimed up, all set up, but the gun still can't be seen. And then when you go to fire it, you then do the mechanism that then actually moves the gun into the proper place for where you're aiming it. And so, it comes up on pivot joints, if you will, and comes up briefly in there, and so you're already pre-aimed, and then you fire, and the recoil of the gun makes it go back in and go back below the parapet of the edge of the wall. That's big and thick and behind a lot of earth. So just come up briefly, fire almost immediately, and then that recoil would be bringing it back below the wall while you get all the big smoke coming out of the gun. So yeah, they'd see, oh yeah, over there's guns over there. We see the big huge smoke cloud, but they don't get a precise location, a precise range, and it's meant to have a thick enough walls that if you're going low, you're just going to hit this big earthen mound that then has a lot of concrete behind it, or you're just going to be going over it and going behind it and exploding behind it. So very hard to hit. So unless you get, high arcing plunging fire to come right in on it, or of course, in a modern sense, oh, hey, there's some dive bombers, they'll just see them and dive right on them. So they have no top cover. But again, these are 19th century guns. They had those all along the coastal system. Well, I think it was the first London Naval Treaty or whatever stops U.S. building of a bunch of heavy guns. I think like 8-inch guns. Ships with 8-inch guns. So they had already built a bunch of the guns, and they had sat around in the Navy's arsenal. Well, during the 1930s, before 1936, but continuing up until and after the U.S. goes into war, the Navy is transferring over as the Army is getting ready to emplace these guns as coastal, because it's the Army is running the coastal artillery. It's a sub-branch of the artillery, but a major one in the United States Army. And they placed some of the guns out in the Philippines, some of the guns at Panama Canal, but most of them along the east and the west coast of the United States. So they were building these more with top cover, not disappearing guns, in bunker style things, not in a naval gun turret, but in a bunker style setup with a decent fire arcs. And so they were doing all of these guns using, I think, mostly 8-inchers. That were not put into ships, and by the time they're getting ready in the 40s, building more ships, they're already building. They have better gun technology to build better artillery tubes. They're going to have longer range for the size of the gun. So yeah, it's sort of like, yeah, okay, we're not going to use these guys. Army, do you want to use them for your coastal defense guns? And the Army says yes, please, and they turn them over as they're placing instead of turning them over all at once. So the U.S. is doing that, and so with TRE, at the start I give the U.S. its historical coastal defense guns, because everybody forgets them because they weren't used in the war. Even when the Japanese ships are coming in, or was it ships or submarines? I forget which it was. I think it was submarines. Were coming in, I think in Washington here. Up in Seattle or one of these places was coming in. The battery commanders told the regional commander, do not fire. Whatever you do, even if they start shelling you, do not fire, do not fire. Because either it was a small group of like light cruisers, I think, or was it submarines, or one of the two. I think it was light cruisers were coming in. Do not fire, because they did not want to let the Japanese know like the ranges of the guns, their effective firing. They'd rather, because these were just a few, either, I'm pretty sure they were light cruisers or destroyers up here. And it was just a small raid, and it was like, hey, yeah, they're only going to shell us a little bit. It ain't going to really hurt. These guns are meant to stop, a big naval armada coming in. There's really, and then we really want to surprise the hell out of them and not, kick the shit out of them. So they order them not to fire, even when they could have fired, in anger, just for tactical reasons. And so, yeah, people forget about how well, and they also did a whole series of stuff along the, East Coast and the Gulf Coast here. So I added those all in for TRE. So if whether it's Japan or Germany is invading, well, you got coastal defense guns if they man them. So what is Eric saying here? It was fine on the entire time for me. Okay, I don't know. No voice. Okay, can we? Unless did you stop? Okay, Mystic. Yeah, wise order. Okay, so I hope you can hear me again. Beam slam. Okay, artillery barrel and ammunition advance. Okay, that would be over here, I believe. And again, we're moving this to our industry expansion program. Deal with, oh shit, we don't have any ICs. Things that would help that out, maybe. Okay, mass events is the opposite, so we're going to wait a little bit on mass events. Agriculture, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, very good. Sorry that you had a little problem there. Okay, and what inefficient research, small caliber tank. Guns, those are over here. Yes, okay. Which will unlock medium velocity guns. 37. Yeah, coastal artillery has its uses, and this is ridiculous, but whatever. It's just for the USA, it got to the point with nuclear weapons no longer being necessary. What they did for quite a while was mount Nike long-range anti-air missiles to try to shoot down incoming, bombers with nuclear, that presumably carrying nuclear bombs from the Soviet Union along our various coastal regions, and of course sticking them up in Canada to try to get those flying over the North Pole. Range finding. Okay, that's here, there. Well, I think we're getting most of the stuff we want to do here now. All right, okay, well, medium armor designs will do that. Yeah. I don't know when we're going to start seeing nuclear weapons used again. I really have to wonder, the nations that have them, would they be willing to lose a war? And not use them? Because I know in a practical sense, unless you're nuking America, at least still you can't successfully invade it. We still have too many guns for them to invade it. Oh, I didn't hear that. My sound is a little low, I guess. Okay, artillery firing carriage designs. Without the pop-up. Now, of course, the Democrats want to disarm the populace, which, of course, makes America invadable, which means we may have to use nuclear weapons to defend ourselves. But so long as we have our weapons, and you can tell me, oh, what about, people, well, they have, cruise, or they have, surface-to-air missiles, or no, they have air-to-surface missiles and all these other things. Yeah, tell that to the Taliban. Tell that to to various forces that are still fighting off the Americans and fought off the Soviets. So yeah, America is uninvadable from a foreign invasion perspective, quite honestly. So it's only nuclear weapons that are a current threat to defeat, conquering America. I don't care how many tanks you bring in, you need to put infantry on the street corners and they'll die to too many guns. I live down the road from Swedish Military Signals Directorate. There is the first thing. Yep, that'll be targeted first. Yeah, chemicals, that's another issue, absolutely. I don't think any of the majors are going, I don't think any of the majors are going to use biological weapons. Chemicals, yes. Mountain infantry activation. That is here and done. Right, good. Okay, well, because we lost other things, we still have more projects, so we're going to let wind down on some of the research. Now, supposedly here, these 40 IC spawn penalties are the same approximately same price to build these units as it would be through normal IC production. And that's a lot of divisions. We do have these big Schwer cannons here. Okay, coastal submarine class advanced. So it's more of just an annoyance that it's all happening at once now. And road network advanced. I think that one we may want to yeah, we're stopping that because what we're going to see here is another 2.5% ICs until June. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, own a gas mask. No. Vigalex and Doze. Hello, Dozed. How you doing? So there's no point in upgrading to, well, oh, I didn't want to do that. Turn that off. Well, I'm already facing a huge penalty here from everything, and since I don't think the pre-war roads thing scales to the percent loss, it's better to take the percent loss when it's smaller number of ICs than larger, unless of course that scales now to, like you do, scaling the unit spawn situation. So yeah, you know, we're down to 34 ICs or 35 ICs in producing stuff right now, so it's pretty bad. The one thing I noticed with yes, these units here cost ICs, but these units here don't cost resources. So actually, in a way, you're giving these units a bit cheaper. Oh, and your spawning artillery is way too expensive now, or it's always been. But your big guns, 3.5 or 3.3% of ICs from starting of the year till September. Really, for guns that were already half built? Yeah, that's a bit expensive. A bit too expensive. Either go down for like a month or two and keep it the same percent, or go to like 1% of ICs It's just ridiculous. What my I'm talking too much. Okay, short-barreled HE guns. Let's see if I can get there. Okay. Yes, we want to stop that. And okay, we're now again into the. So your railway artillery needs to be readjusted for cost, especially in reading the descriptions, and most of them are for leftover cannons from World War I or other repurposed ship's cannons, and you're just having to build the railway carriages and supporting elements, which is a significant build element, but still it isn't that. Yeah, I think oh my God is upset with me again, so at least he didn't respond to my change my mind over because I did say, just so you know, Dozed, I presume you know that I made the video demanding either, and it was demanding that either have go back to 8 brigades or keep it at 7 but remove the transport brigades from the game. Demanding that, or there was one element in the video that said, or change my mind. I mean, you give me enough facts and change my mind. And the demand is that if you guys, Black Ice doesn't change back to 8 brigades, TRE will change it. And so the threat was I'll do it, but I'll probably do it badly because I don't know what I'm doing as well as you guys do. So, and no response. Okay, you didn't like the threat. Okay, or oh my God, didn't. So he's, I think, a little upset. So yeah. Oh, and the poll that I created, which gave the option go to 8 or stay at 7 but remove the transport brigades or keep it the way it is, it's running almost 70+% and going back to 8 brigades. So I think popular demand is 8 brigades. And I know, yeah, make it so that the AI, I would just get rid of this entirely and just make it start 8 brigades for everybody, everything. That's what I would do. What do I want to do? Okay, so we've got most of this stuff. Researching that I want to do now. Let's come down here. We'll do mountain HQs. My gamer, is there something normal that sometimes done research doesn't pop up? Yeah, okay, what's happening when you don't see the research thing pop up, you will sometimes notice up here, but you can see it down here. What it is the number of units that it affects, if it were to try to display the pop-up, would be too large for the screen, because there's just so many different unit types in Black Ice. So yeah, it won't actually pop up sometimes. So it's not just you, it's just a game engine limitation. It's just too big. That's all you're seeing there. Austria would like energy. Yes, you may. Yeah, okay. Tweaking balance. Yeah, but it just no response to my quote unquote threat of doing it myself. I mean, that's the only real threat there is, which is I'll do it if you don't. Okay, yeah. Down to 34. Okay, yeah. No problem. Vegalix. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Yeah, some of the stuff is just engine limitations. Aero engine, research advanced air cooling. Grayed out. Do we want to do air cooling, engine systems? Air cooling, okay, 1942. No, we don't want to do that now. Yeah, we could do depth charges now. Get those researching. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm just. He explained himself, but. Okay. Stormtrooper tactics and infiltration tactics. Oh no, I'm not blaming you or anything. Don't take what I'm saying here as an attack. Not even attack on him, it's just disagreements. Okay, stormtrooper tactics we want to continue. Infiltration tactics we want to continue. So yes, yes. Okay, energy. Yes, you may have energy. Okay, reorganize the war industry. Get new hospitals. Okay. Expand our factories. Oh, good. We get a capital shipyard in Königsberg. Very nice. Do you know if if this I mean, if you don't know, it's fine. I just wondered if you know. Do the science ministers actually put on buildings, or is that just the effects that we see here? Not that I'm asking for a detailed right now, because I could look it up or something, but I just wondered if they do buildings, or is it just the effects? Do you know? Again, no problem if you don't know. Okay, give events to boost text. Okay. Just wondered. Okay, anti-aircraft ammunition. Stop that. And submarine classes advanced. Okay, so we can research more, but we're not going to do that now. Let's see if we can find some more 37 technologies that we want to do now. Yeah, like close air support. And we're not doing carrier aircraft. You know, we can do fuselage. Yeah, well, people min-max things. People use things inappropriately. That's very true. Single engine airframe. Grayed out. The big thing, as I understand it, is the AI won't. If you have a division, the AI will never, on its own, add a new brigade to it. So, and I don't think you can tell the AI to go also to have models for building 7 brigade divisions to then later, once you research certain techs, to build 8 brigade divisions. So you do get a bonus if they don't. I just see, why have things like combat leaders that my understanding is they're supposed to be attached to select units. And so, yeah, okay, if I put in this combat commander here, what unit am I going to take out to put him in? Reconnaissance? Anti-tank? Are we really now supposed to rely upon, jerking 2 of these things out of here and going over to, a mixed support unit in almost everything? And so you get things like that, or building specialty, even temporary building, which yes, obviously for like assaulting a fortified position, you can remove the transport element and put on a railway gun unit or something there. But then if you wanted to, add, your elite light infantry to a regular unit, what are you going to pull out of it? It's supposed to be an additive. Yeah, the system is open for abuse. I normally, and And so I just, 8 brigades, just have, the EULA programming that does it. And I don't know how easy, if it can be done, to go, hey, yeah, Soviet Union, France, Britain, or whatever nation, big nations build 8 brigades, small nations build 7, brigade divisions, because you have fewer divisions holding you need more divisions just because you have such a stupid big front and you can't, hold strategic points. And things like that. So yeah, I understand there's reasons for this. I get, and I get Oh My God's idea that there are reasons for it. They're just not good enough reasons. Is all. I mean, they're reasons, but not good enough. Would be convenient if this was written in the minister's text. If they min-max stuff, they're just making their own experience of the game. Absolutely, Jackal. Battle commanders replace HQs. Okay. Because yeah, they can. You're right. Because they do give the combined arms effects. You're right about that. But you no longer have the cool HQ symbol for whatever division they're with, and that's part of the reason why we like these cool HQs. So yeah, okay, single engine airframe research. Grayed out. Okay. 4-engine transport plane. We want that. Don't know how we're going to afford that now, but we want them. Unit when it's okay to build industry continuously. Oh, until when it's okay to build industry continuously. 1994. Don't quite get some of that. Oh, I know what you mean. Okay. We did look. They've upped the numbers that you can build industry to the different years, but after 1940, you can max out your industry as far as you want without negative events. So we looked at it earlier. It's now, I think, 450 in 1936 or something that was really high now. Twin engine armament research advance. And again, that is here. Let's stop that. Twin engine fighter prototype. Let's research that. So yeah, after 1940, you can just go crazy. Build, build, build. Yeah, well, I've noticed that now. It's changed. Okay, armament again. Let's see. Yes, grayed out there. So I would say for Germany, you no longer have to worry about in a practical sense. I'm sure somebody can min-max something, but in a practical sense, you're no longer going to be, especially with events like this, you're no longer going to be worrying about building too much industry, I would say. Won't have enough resources, industry output if you go too far. Yes. Though I would, you know, yeah, the state would like, no, we're building up crude oil. Sorry. They support 250 ICs of imports. Very good to know. You're still, oh yeah. And so, you have a resource limitation, and that I think is reasonably appropriate. Because I understood what they said by certain, if you go on super hard difficulty, they have lots of extra resources that you can try to suck out of them. The exploitable one, I have played on hard. I've not played on the hardest level though, and I don't try to game the system. I try to make it reasonably appropriate when I play, and that's how I guess make my mods for somebody who's doing it. Okay, four engine armament research advance. We want to come over here and stop that. We just wanted to do one level of it. And road network advance. Okay. Or railroad network, I should say. Yes. Okay, good. And yeah, I'm going to fire this now here. Another one, but only until July. Yeah, now this is more reasonable because that's a major investment compared to some things. Hmm, 37. Avionics, okay, 38. We can do 38. Oh, no, well, we can do 35. Let's do that one first. Oh, and we still have a little bit more. Let's come down here, look at these guys. Yeah, we'll do fire control. Okay, and so we can see IC production increased by just 0.2%, but still it helps. Throughput supply later on will help a lot. Oh, we gotta do this again. Okay, up a tiny bit more. I really wish I could just set these at need. Oh, now let's. Yeah, I don't know what all those battleships and aircraft are going to do. Why don't you use... Because it doesn't... to me, it doesn't satisfy. I know what you're talking about here, but it doesn't satisfy me. I want to be able to say, you go exactly at whatever levels. It's close, but just doesn't work well enough. Great War analysis. Have we analyzed the Great War enough? No, we need to watch more of more episodes of the Great War. How did they know about YouTube back then? I have to wonder about that. Motorized HQs. We're stopping that one for now. Okay, we were looking here. 1937, yeah, we'll do that. Doze, do you know what you guys use to do your multiplayer games? Do you use Hamachi Go or something like that? Or however it's called? Or how do you get the multiplayer thing to work? I've had trouble with doing some of that. If you know, I'm not sure if you know, but airport capabilities advance. Stop that one. Oh, you don't with the rest, but I believe they use direct. Okay. I just eventually here want to do a some multiplayer series, and I want to test it on some of my guinea pig players that I have, that, you know, see if we can get it working and whatnot. Okay, I know we got a lot of these things to start doing soon, but we're looking through some of this stuff first. We're not doing much in the way of Navy. Yeah, we're Germany. We're being smart and skipping most of the Navy. And political indoctrination is 39. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I think it's time to start. Let's do some of that. Yeah, they might be. I don't know. Oh yes, we need to hit these things. I did get it working, I mean, well more than a year ago briefly with somebody. But I just want to know, airport 5% until July. Oh, lovely. Yeah, these are way too expensive. Airport level 5% till July. Yeah, air organization improves, but this is really racking up the consumer goods. Okay, we're down to 22 ICs functionally. So I just need to figure out a good, reasonably stable way to play this multiplayer. Oh, medium fuel tank. And it's grayed out. Oh yes, Germany role. But yeah, we are sort of role playing the 1920s and early 30s. Yeah, I quite honestly, I'm not complaining about the penalties for the units, those 340 ICs. Right now, trust me, I'm not. I'm more. I don't know that the conscription should be as bad. The penalty for the railway guns are just way effing too high. 6% of national ICs going to spawn penalty for the 38 centimeter guns. Yeah, no. That's just not realistic. The business boost, because we went to long-term economics. That okay, yeah. Instead of short-term economic boost, I get you. I get that. Building manufacturing plants, maybe 5 IC short spawn penalty. Yeah, okay. I don't. Yeah, for a little while. That's depending on exactly which event that was. But the railroads, I sort of buy the 2.5%. Roads, maybe. Airports, no. No, 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 no. Extended conscription, but didn't we already have? See here. Oh, can't move it off. We have both extended conscription 4.0 and 3-year draft extended conscription 4.5. Okay, so 3-year draft, military service. Fine. But we also have maybe I shouldn't have both of these going, but why the double up on these? I don't know if you have any input here, Dozed. And again, if you don't know, you don't know, and it's fine. I just don't know what the benefit of having both of these are. Hello, Savelli Gallus. Yes, this is I would still call it brand new, the 10.41 right now. They've did a hot fix / updated the big thing. So we got military service length. Okay, yeah, I get that. And we get, I don't know why separating these into two is, instead of having them sort of combined, is useful. I mean, yeah, I get that there are different combinations and triggered modifiers. I get that, but I can see the different impacts here. Yeah, I can see this, but manpower, 15%. Manpower, 60%. 4 IC. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see that this level of nuance. I mean, yeah, I could go to 2-year draft. I could go to 6 months draft. Okay, so peacetime manpower rotation plus 15%. Don't get what this necessarily is, quite honestly. Officer recruitment down, reserve penalty impact. Yeah. Okay, well, maybe I should be here now. And keep it here for the 60 manpower, national manpower modifier to build this up. I don't know. I don't know. Well, that'll help a little bit. We'll let a day tick over and see how this... Oh, we're back up to 109. Yay. Okay. So we've lost... Okay, so we've lost the extended conscription. Wait a minute. Okay. We've lost specialized army training. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Okay, so we're not, well, we don't need reinforcement bonus now. We don't need supply consumption negative. Well, no, we don't have that big an army. That's not that big. National unity, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Seems complicated. Not saying it's bad, just seems complicated and I don't understand it all. And, you know, and I get what I'm reading, but small fuel tanks. Okay, so yeah. Let's come down here and here we got reconnaissance. Let's do artillery training. There we go. Oh, we have 13 extra ICs. Yay. We don't need these anymore. Okay, good. Go to 0. Let's come down here to about there, maybe. We're up to 60 ICs. Yay. Okay, well now let's move these guys to the top because they'll complete first. And yeah, let's move these guys. Oh, no. Click the right place. And then, yeah, move these guys back up to the top. Yeah, well, okay. Here's a mix. Is mixed industry worth it? Well, right now, yes, because I have no consumer good costs. So, the additional cost for mixed industry is outweighed by some of the other effects here. Now, going from full mobilization when I did it, this was at the start of the game, so your results may vary at different times. When I went to war economy during peacetime, the amount of additional ICs, let's say it got 20 additional ICs, just for sake of argument, 20 additional ICs, but it required like 25 ICs to be put into consumer goods, so it wasn't worth going to war economy in peacetime. Now in wartime, it's an absolute yes, but it is not worth it. At least at the start of the game and the values that had there. So war economy, no. Full mobilization, yes. And mixed industry, because, and right now, maybe even if I could, maybe heavy industry. But we can't do that. We need unity at least 80%. Okay. Oh, ruling party. All of the below. Okay. We're not at war, so we can't do heavy industry emphasis until we're at war or we're communist. So yeah, no, we can't do that now. So yeah, so mixed industry is definitely, so long as you have to look at what really the big thing is for those is to look at your consumer goods to see if they're necessary. Or see if they're beneficial over the zero-sum numbers. It used to be war economy was worth it in 10.3 and before. Now it isn't. Okay, no longer receive money for supplies. Would like money in exchange for fuel? No, thank you. Money in exchange for fuel? For no, thank you. Okay, I think we're going to end this episode here. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you all in chat for contributing. It really helped out. So I want to, thank you everyone, and see you next time for even more, yes, more Hearts of Iron. Okay, let's save this. We only had one crash today, and that was great. And that was me alt-tabbing in and out and looking around at things and starting Discord and whatnot. And that definitely put strain on the system. So that's a very successful test. And that's one of the major things I'm testing here. Also to see how these other stuff work. But I think we're going to end today's live stream. When will the next stream start? Well, tomorrow at approximately 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Times, we will be playing War Thunder. So if you guys want to come and join, you can actually join in and play. You get hooked up on our Discord server, and we will be doing that. That'll be tomorrow's next live stream if you want to come in. So everybody, you can follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube if you guys haven't already done so. And we'll be doing War Thunder tomorrow. Next week, I'm doing some stuff for Slitherine, as well as maybe a Friday show and definitely a Saturday and Sunday show on my channel. So thank you all. Yeah, John. Yep. Join us for hanging out with us. Okay. See you guys. Really do appreciate it. Thanks for your input, Dozed. It does help.